Welcome back to I almost said Million Dollar Landscape Podcast. I've been doing a lot of podcasts today, so let me start that over. Welcome back, everybody. I'm joined by Ryan Reber of Busy Busy. It's been a long, crazy day, I heard, for both of us, so my brain's a little foggy, but I'm excited, Ryan, to be back on here. He works for Busy Busy. Busy Busy is a sponsor of the podcast. We thank them for being a sponsor. It's been a pleasure working with them. We've been doing a lot of interviews. We actually just finished up a couple of interviews with their owner, the CEO, Isaac, here earlier this week, I think it was.
Yeah. Yep.
So those will be coming out. So be on the watch for those. They'll be coming out here, I think, the next couple of weeks. So it's exciting, great stuff. It's always great chatting with him. He's a wealth of knowledge. But thanks, Ryan. Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, of course. Excited to be back on and chat with you.
So today we kind of wanted to hop in and share with you some of the features that Busy Busy has to make it easier for payroll. Payroll could be such a pain in the butt sometimes, trying to make sure the guys are clocking in on time, filling out their paperwork properly. Even, just having a simple punch card can be a hassle sometimes, because sometimes they'll have, I know we've had this where they've called somebody up, hey, I'm gonna be late, can you punch in my time card for you? Well, that's not how things work. So Busy Busy can make it so much easier, right?
Yeah. Totally agree. Oh no, you're good. Totally agree. And we hear those stories all the time of suddenly they realize, hey, someone's punching in somebody else, or all sorts of different things where it does. Software app like Busy Busy just makes it easier. And half of it is that whoever's running payroll has to chase down all of those different time cards. So trying to get the guys to turn them in and also write them down each day. Because I don't know about you, but for me, it's I don't remember what I had for lunch last week, let alone hours I worked and what I worked on.
No, I hear you. I had a hard time remember what I did earlier this morning, so it can be crazy, and I understand
Yeah.
it. But having an app like this that clocks in, can even GPS track it, is amazing. That's I was actually talking to my parents about switching over to Busy Busy this past weekend, just to make things easier for them for doing payroll, because my mom is still very old school. She still does stuff by paper. She has it in QuickBooks. They use an app for that, but she still does it by paper. She does it twice, and it literally takes her all day for like a crew of 20 people. And they're like, there's software out there to make it so much easier. Please start using it. Well, if you look at your time, what you want to value your time with. So if you want to make $100 an hour and you're spend 8 hours doing that, that's like ridiculous. You could be doing so many more other things. So having an app like Busy Busy to make it easy is unbelievable.
Yeah. And typically we've got a fun stat with that. Typically when a company around that size, right, once you start to hit 20 employees, especially when companies switch from paper time cards to Busy Busy, or a time tracking software that can integrate into your accounting software like QuickBooks, which Busy Busy does, companies are typically going to save 60% of the time that they were spending on payroll is going to go away. So they can do it in 40% of the time. And I'll even
Yeah, you mind sharing your screen and
go
showing a
ahead
little
and
bit?
share my screen. And can you see that okay?
Yep, there it is.
Perfect. And so, yeah, not only is it going to save time just simply from the automation of having all of those time cards come right into Busy Busy seamlessly, rather than having to chase everyone down and get their paper time card, or trying to get them to text in. But there's also a couple of cool liability features that we have built in specific for payroll and capturing that and getting employees paid. So to start it off here, I wanted to show really quick. So this is what the app looks like. I've just mirrored the app right onto my computer here. And the first thing I wanted to show is the time card right here. So one of the things that's really cool is that as an employee, it gives me immediate visibility to what I've been doing or what I'm working on this week. So here's my time card for this week. And then the other cool thing is that for last week, here's my time card. And once we get finished with a pay period, it's going to give me a notification as I come to clock in saying, hey, time to sign your time card for last week. And so as an employee, it's going to ask me to sign my time card. And then this is where Busy Busy is pretty customizable into we want a workflow that works for the company. So some companies want a supervisor or a foreman or a crew lead to also sign the time card of that employee saying, yep, I was with them, that time's accurate. And others just want the employee to sign. So if they just want the employee to sign, this is taken right off. And I'll just show what this looks like just for functionality's sake. So give my mirroring app here a second. So now I can go ahead and sign this time card. Maybe if it'll show up. I've signed it on my phone, but my my mirroring app's not sure if it's convinced. Let's see. I might need to jump to a, oh, there it
Oh,
goes.
there it goes.
Apparently I've got a 10-second lag here. Let's see if it'll catch up, or I might jump to another app. Oh yeah, that's interesting. All right, let's see if it catches up here. Okay. And then all right, let me hurry and see if I can change.
Technology sometimes be a pain.
Technology, you think your software is going to work.
At least you have a backup. That's good.
Yeah, I've had these little mirroring apps work really, really well, and then suddenly they don't work. So let's see if this one will get it done. All right. Maybe. Okay, perfect. So now that I showed that, other cool thing here is, and this one comes in a little granular, so I prefer not to use it, but the other one wasn't working today. So what is also cool is that as I come in here and I clock in as an employee, so if I'm on the Tyler Avenue job, and again, really customizable if as a company you just want to track the job costing, so just the project the employees work on, that's great. They're only going to see the project, and then the cost code and equipment would be removed. Or if you want to track project, cost code, and equipment, all three, that they're all here. So it's whatever the company wants to show. And I'll just grab, like, for example, excavation. I can even grab an example piece of equipment and go ahead and hit done. So I'm now clocked in. And then now that I'm clocked in, and have a couple of different things I can do here now that I'm clocked in, but let's just say, okay, I've hit the end of the day, I'm done, I'm ready to clock out. I'll go ahead and hit clock out. And we've got this daily sign off with a couple of different questions. And I'll go through these fairly quickly, but first is a liability check. So or a health check, making sure that I am not injured as an employee as I leave the job site. If I am injured, I have to leave a description. So I'll go ahead and say I'm good, I'm not injured. Did I follow the company break policy? I did. If I forgot to add my lunch break as an employee, I can add it here. But then this one right here is specifically for payroll, is really convenient in that it asks me if my time's accurate for that day. So capturing, yep, that's my time. I did work 44 minutes today. And then I can also update the hour meter on that piece of equipment. So just capturing the time spent or time used for that equipment as well. So the
Nice.
advantage of capturing this, and sorry, go ahead, Scott.
No, I was just saying that's nice. I like that feature. You can update the hour meter.
Yeah, really, really, really easy to do for the employee, and it makes it easy to see. You can even look at like the productivity of the piece of equipment. It's like how many hours were they using it, and how many hours changed on or how many what did the hour meter change to? So being able to view like idle time as well.
Nice.
So it makes that really, yeah, really, really nice. So I can go ahead and hit submit here, and it will remind me that I did not update the hour meter. So I'll go ahead and update that, hit submit. And so now that I'm clocked out, so let's say I'm done now. So now from the payroll perspective of trying to run a payroll, I can come to the dashboard here, and in timesheets under the summary, I can come in here, I can see, okay, did the employee sign their time card, yes or no? Did the supervisor, if I want a supervisor signature, sign as well? And then I'm going to hurry and grab time accuracy as well. Maybe. It's always fun. This is a demo account, so sometimes people start to throw stuff around on me. So what I should be able to view here as well is that time accuracy. So I can see
Okay.
did the employee sign, supervisor sign, did they say their time was accurate every day, yes or no? And then I have their total time. So this is where companies can come in, they can view it for the pay period, and then this is what um, integrates right into QuickBooks. So it's a click of a button. So once everything's verified, approved in busybusy, it's a click of a button, and we move it right over into QuickBooks or into whatever payroll software a company is using. And I can
Okay.
even view uh, more granular, like what specifically happened in these time entries as well.
Now, so can if a crew member comes to the shop, they clock in at the shop,
Yep.
and then they end up going to a job, doing a job. They have to clock into that job as well. Is that how that works, or could that be separated out? Or
Yeah, we have companies run it multiple ways. Some companies want to have employees clock in at the shop,
okay,
and what we can do there is they'll either just use their phone the whole time, or we do have a kiosk option. So they'll have like a tablet with the kiosk option, and
okay,
what that does is as the employee clocks into the shop, it takes a picture of them and uses AI to make sure it's actually that employee clocking in, and then as they go, okay, done at the shop, I'm headed to my actual job, they would just jump into their phone and switch from the shop time job to the actual job they're headed to, and then capturing drive time or whatever they're capturing for that job costing, however they run it.
okay, nice. Well, the nice thing is it just makes it very accurate with everything. That's what, and it, a previous example we just had recently where somebody was filling out a timesheet, and it was actually at the end of the day doing the daily reports, and they didn't add up the time properly. They were supposed to spend like whatever 8 some hours, and they ended up putting like 14 hours. I'm like, the math
Yeah.
doesn't add up here. It just, at the end of the day, I get it, they're tired, but having something like this where they can just, it automatically calculates out for you, makes everything so much more accurate, which I really enjoy.
Yeah, I completely agree. It makes it accurate, and it makes it so companies can, or a payroll admin or owner can run payroll from anywhere. So I've had
Mhm.
multiple conversations. One specifically was with a landscaper company where I was talking to the individual that ran and managed payroll, and she told me that for the first time ever, they've been using busybusy for, gosh, so they've used it for over almost a year and a half now, because she told me last summer she was able to take a 2 week vacation in the middle of summer for the first time ever. And that was because she was able to take her laptop with her. All of the guys' time cards came right to her computer. And she was able to go through, verify everything, say, yep, that all looks right, push it over into QuickBooks. And so made her life a million times easier. And she could do it while on vacation, and took her 30 minutes to do it rather than a couple of hours, and she can't leave. And same thing, I talked to a company out of Utah that their excavation, and they were upset because they couldn't go on vacation. They had to postpone a vacation to, if anyone is familiar with Lake Powell, they couldn't go on vacation to Lake Powell. They had to postpone it a day because they didn't finish payroll. So things like that, just it makes it way simpler to have it all in one location. You don't have to go chase guys, and yeah, it's always accurate.
Yeah, and actually, after speaking to Isaac on the last podcast, he mentioned how some companies were finding that the crews were previous to using busy were like kind of fudging the numbers. So they're getting off 15 minutes till, they'll put it to the next hour, and
Hmm.
using busy, it clocked them out at the exact time, and they started seeing for the company is actually able to save money on payroll because the people only getting paid to that certain amount, which is awesome. And he said they actually found the crews actually started working more to make up the difference. They can get their full 8 hours or whatever they're trying to accomplish that day, which is amazing.
Yeah, we see that. We see that all the time where, and it makes sense. I think on average field employees are going to round their time
Mhm.
30, 40 minutes a day, and it makes sense, right? You get to the job at 8:15, you mark yourself at 8. You take a 10-minute extra lunch. Or like you said, you leave at 4:45, and you clock yourself out at 5.
Yep.
Um, where and it is these guys realize like, oh shoot, I didn't get my 40 hours this week. Well, next week I do want my 40 hours. So rather than leaving 15 minutes early, I'm going to work that extra 15 to 45 minutes each day, where yeah,
Yeah.
productivity goes up, and the guys are getting paid their full 40 hours, which is what they want.
Mhm. I guess I know you had on there about the meal break. Is that something you can set up so if they, we only pay for, or we don't pay for an hour lunch? Is that something that can deduct out automatically, or whatever it is, half hour, or is that something we have to figure out on the back end?
Yeah, so it depends. So like if so, do you pay like for a 30-minute lunch then? Is that what they get?
Yeah. So we give them like, I give you for our example for our business,
Yeah.
we give them 45 minutes for lunch.
Yep.
We don't pay them for a half hour of it. So they get kind of 15 minutes paid for. But
Okay.
I was kind of curious how that would work as far as removing the half hour.
Sure. Yeah, it depends. So they can either um, so if they would go on break for yeah that 15 minutes or the 30 minutes, and then the 15 is paid, or they would essentially go to like a lunchtime project and then
Okay.
just go on break for the 30 minutes.
Right.
Um, yeah, or they could just at the end of the day deduct the 30 minutes, because that's the nice thing too is that some companies will just say, hey, don't worry about taking a lunch break, just do it in the daily sign off, tack on the 30-minute break, and we're good to go.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so some companies prefer to run it that way even. So it just depends on the flow of how the company wants the employees to capture that time.
Okay. Nice. So then, can you show a little bit of like how, as an admin, they can see the reports and what they can see as far as like all the employees and how that's all kind of laid out?
Sure, yeah. So, and really quick, yeah, I'll show our activity report that breaks down and shows by project the time and employees that worked on each project. But one cool thing as well is that on the um, main dashboard here, I can click into employees that are currently clocked in, so I can see who's currently clocked in, and I can also jump in here and see where people are at. So I can see, okay, so here's where Dustin's at. Here's all of his start and stop times, and then here's the project he's supposed to be working on. So he's 2 miles outside of the project, so we'll let it slide since this is our demo account, but it gives you that kind of visibility into, okay, where our employees at.
Okay.
Um, and then to jump down to, so activity reports by project. So I can come in here and I can view, for example, like on this job, I can come in here and I can view, okay, here's the employees that worked on the 1325 East job. And I can view their total time, and it's broken down by regular time, overtime, as well as the wage for each employee. And I can also, here's what gets really cool, is I can break it down by cost code, so I can see specific cost codes that were worked on, as well as equipment if we're using equipment. I can also break it down by time entry, so I can see each specific time entry inside of the week of who was working on the project, which days were they working on the project. So I can come in here, I can verify, make sure everything looks good. And if, for example, like if I know Braden Gillespie here worked or started it at 8 a.m., I can go ahead and update that, and that'll just update for me. So I can even
Yeah.
edit time from right here.
I did also see at one point a little bit earlier, Ed showed something like PTO time. Is that something that could be calculated out too to show employees, or
It is, yeah. So I can come in here to my app. So um, employees can view and request time off.
nice?
This is a newer feature, but it is something that I can come in here and I can request time off. So I can come in here, I can request multiple days, or just, so I'll just, for example, we'll just go for tomorrow, and then I can specify the type. So whether it's personal, vacation, holiday, whatever it may be. And then I can just say whether it's paid or not. So I'll go ahead and say this one's paid, 8 hours, yep. I hit done. So as an employee, I've now requested this time off, and I can see that it's awaiting approval. And then I can come down here as an admin. I would come into the time off and I would come view time off requests. Go ahead and apply this. So here's my request, and I can even leave it an additional description of, hey, here's what's going on, or here's why I need this time off. And then as a admin, I can come in, or I can deny it. If I deny it, I can tell them why, or I can also go ahead and approve that, say, yep, you're good to go. So then when I jump back to my app as the employee, I can come up here and I can see here's my upcoming. So my request went through and it got approved. So here's my time off that's coming up.
Nice.
And it does,
And
that will be shown in the timesheets.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. Yeah, I was kind of curious. That's awesome. That's a huge feature built in right there. Like,
Yeah.
one thing I'll let everybody know, like, you guys need to check out this app. Busy Busy was actually gracious enough to actually give members or people listening to the Million Dollar Landscaper podcast 3 months for free. So I encourage you, go check out the link that's up top there. It's in the description too. Go check it out. Mention the Million Dollar Landscaper podcast, and you get 3 months for free inside this app. It'd be silly not to. Besides just all the payroll, everything else that Busy Busy does, it's going to help save you so many headaches and a lot less stress. So I encourage you, go check that out today.
Yeah, and it is. The nice thing too is that we do have a free app as well. So for companies where they don't need all the pro features, you can use the free app, use it forever if pro makes sense. Like Scott mentioned, mention the Million Dollar Landscaper, and we'll give you 3 extra months when you buy for the year.
That's awesome. As far as the free version, do they get this payroll and everything, all the features of that?
So they get the time, so they can view all the time information.
Okay.
The reporting side of it, the main difference is the reporting lasts 7 days rather than going back forever.
Okay.
But they do have all the timesheets and everything do still exist. Main thing though is that, like, it's not going to integrate into a QuickBooks, for example. That is a part of the pro package. If you're looking to integrate into QuickBooks, you do have to be using the pro product.
Sure. As far as the integration, is it QuickBooks the only thing that it integrates with?
Integrates with, as a time tracking software, you can imagine we integrate with just about every payroll and accounting software out there. And in fact, one thing that is really exciting for Busy is we've just launched Busy Payroll. And so for companies that are looking to utilize Busy and are looking to have payroll be done by Busy as well, that is something we have the capability of doing. They obviously have to be a busy user of the time tracking software, and if they are, then yeah, we can get payroll done for them as well.
That's awesome. Do you happen to know the cost on that, or is there?
Yeah, it's so it's $6 a user per
Okay.
month with a base fee of $35 a month.
Okay.
So yeah, really affordable
Yeah.
when looking at payroll.
Yeah, that's really cheap. If you sat down and tried doing all this yourselves, like in QuickBooks, trust me, just after seeing my mom doing this, $6 is cheap. Take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Take advantage of it. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about with the payroll side of Busy?
I think that gets us pretty well covered here. Yeah,
Mhm.
wanted to walk through and show some of the liability protectors we got for companies out there, and also the automation and the time it's going to save. And I think we got that covered.
Yeah, no, Busy is a very robust program. There's so many features available in this besides the payroll. I encourage you guys, go check it out. Take advantage of that 3 months. They have an awesome onboarding process to help make it very simple to get it going right away. So I encourage you, go check it out. Like Ryan mentioned, there is a free version too, but take advantage of that pro version and go try it out. I guarantee you're going to become a lifer with it.
Yeah, totally agree.
All right, Ryan. Well, I appreciate you hopping in here today. Um,
Oh, there we go.
oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
of course.
Sorry. No, I appreciate you hopping in here today. Busy Busy is an awesome app, like I said, and I do really appreciate you guys being a sponsor of the show. Uh, just definitely go check it out, guys. We've done multiple videos on all the different features, so go back, look in the Facebook groups, look in our past YouTube videos. It's an amazing app. That's all I can say, and the price point at it is really dirt cheap for what you get. So I encourage you go check it out. And if anybody's using it, let us know. I'd love to see how you're using it, how you're enjoying it. Put it in the comment section. Um, I know Ryan and I were talking about getting some people on in the future to kind of come on and share their experience with using it. Actually had a person that made a comment on one of our last videos. They've been using it for excavation, and um, I'm going to be reaching out to them to see if they can come on and share their experience with it too. So no, I appreciate you being on here, Ryan. Anything else you want to add?
I think that gets us covered. Appreciate being
Yeah.
on.
All right, Ryan. Well, I hope you have a great evening. I hope you get to go home and relax and chill out.
Yeah, same, you too.
So, yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll be talking to you soon. Bye bye.
See ya.